Hi guys, how are you? And welcome to Lola's Superstar World. This is my channel and I'm glad that you've able to tune in. So here on my channel, I usually talk about, parenting, my postpartum journey. For those that know me, I'm 8 months postpartum. I talk about myself, my family, my girls, being a dance mum. I love to do so many shorts with my girls as well. But this subject particularly hit me. I'm here in the UK and it's just sad what is going on at the moment. It's that we're having an epidemic of young life just gone too soon. Young kids not being able to live their life and just being deleted over pettiness, over things that someone's life shouldn't have to go for. And it's really, really kind of touched me, basically. So here we have this story. Here in the UK, a young girl, 15 years old, on her way to school. She didn't even make it into school. Literally left her home, got ready in the morning, woke up, thought she was going to school, left her home, left her parents, was on the bus, literally a mile from school, and she didn't make it. Her life was taken away from her. Only 15. Her life was deleted. And, I don't usually talk about these kind of stuff, but as a mother with daughters, my daughters are a lot younger. My oldest is 12. It's just something that's just touched my soul. I can only imagine the agony, the pain, the disbelief that that poor, beautiful soul and her parents are going through at this moment. How do you say goodbye to your kids and say, have a great day in school, only to be called, less than an hour later? And to realize that they're in a critical condition. I mean, how do you as a parent even apprehend that? What do, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And this is why I've just had to come here and just literally just talk. I mean, first of all, I just want to send my condolences to that beautiful girl who was lost too soon and her family. My condolences to you, my sincere condolences to you. May God, give you strength and guide you and give you peace at this time, because this is one of the worst things that can ever happen to a parent, to bury your child before you in such a way. It is absolutely unbelievable when something just happens just so untimely. I mean, she was on her way to school, literally a mile away from school, and for her life to be deleted in such a way by a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, by someone that she's known, by someone that she shared time with. This is just unbelievable. What happened to two people, trying to talk things out or having an argument or giving each other space and trying to mend things up? Is this where our society has gone to now? You can't even break up with someone without being put 6 feet under? What happened to agreeing and disagreeing? What happened to, do you know what? I need my space. Let me figure this out. I'm only 15 years old. We've got our whole life together. Is this what is happening now? You can't even break up with someone without being, fearing for your life, or being deleted, or being put 6 foot under. It's unbelievable. So basically, what happened to this young girl in the morning today? Obviously, the story is still unfolding, but she was literally on her way to school. She must have met up with this guy. Everything, the story's still coming together, but apparently her and the guy, the offender, they'd known each other. I think they'd broken up, and I guess he wanted to patch things up with her, and things really went left. It really went left, and to everyone's dismay, this pure, beautiful young soul is no more at just 15. It's absolutely unbelievable. And as us as parents, I mean, what can we do? Is there anything that we can do? What can we do to protect our daughters from this? I mean, the femicide rate that is going on in this world globally is unbelievable. Young girls, young women around the world globally, no matter what country you are, whether you're in the West, whether you're in a third world country, the femicide rate is too much. It's just too much. It's too much. You can't even leave a club and get into an Uber car without wondering what's going to happen. You can't even have a citizen's arrest without wondering what's going to happen. This girl was going to school. She was not out of place. She was not where she was not meant to be. What do young girls at 8:30 in the morning do? They are traveling to school, and for this to happen, it's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So basically, what happened? I mean, I'll say allegedly, but the story is still unfolding, and it is quite new. So apparently, the young lady and the guy, they know each other. And it's a legend that they were in a relationship, and she broke up with him yesterday. According to witnesses in the morning, he must have met her. Everything happened in Croydon. He had a bunch of flowers, and I guess he was trying to, patch up the relationship, or he wanted them to resume their relationship. And she kindly declined, which every human being, every person, every woman has a right to. It doesn't say how long they were dating, but clearly she must have saw something that she didn't like. I mean, maybe she saw his violent tendency or the fact that this relationship was gonna cause some harm to me, and she just wanted nothing to do to it. And rightly so, because you don't just wake up that early in the morning, come with someone with roses, but also have a weapon to cause destruction. I mean, this poor young lady is 6 foot under now because of this guy, allegedly. There is no other witnesses, and he's the person that everybody, well, he was seen there. Everything's all a legend, everything's all coming together. They are not looking for anybody else in connection with this. It looks like a lover's tiff gone drastically wrong, but how do you come with roses and a love letter in one hand and also have a weapon in the other? Just because she said no, well, that's it. It's the end of her life. She needs to go. I mean, realistic, really? Like, really? So clearly, she must have seen some signs. I mean, she was a smart girl. She saw some signs of violence, or she saw that this was going to be, a dramatic or drastic relationship, or a relationship that was going to put her in harm's way, and she made a clear exit. At 15 years old, you should not be having to struggle with domestic violence. I mean, domestic violence, like I said before, domestic violence, crimes against women, the femicide rate that is going on globally in the world. I didn't even know how bad it is, but it's bad out there. It's really bad. And I'm not saying that to scare us, but it is bad. And these kind of things, these are the things that are happening to women, not young girls. She was just going to school. What, a boyfriend who was 17 years old, and she wants to break up with him. And now this is what he does to her. Wow. Wow, and it just makes me ask, as parents, what can we do to protect our children? Like, we really need to talk. What can we do? But before I go into that, I like the fact that the girl noticed that he was a problem and she wanted to stay clear. It's unfortunate that she had to pay with her life, but he was always going to be violent. There was always going to be something that was going on. If she stayed in a relationship with him, she most probably would have been going for abuse in that relationship. He most probably would have been, God knows, there would have been domestic violence in that relationship, and she most probably would have been forced to stay with him. Maybe that was going on already. Nobody knows. I'll say allegedly to everything because I'm just speculating. But clearly she saw something that she wanted no part of it. And he clearly had this violent tendencies with him. Who leaves their house with a weapon of this of this length to cause harm? This is not some gang rivalry. This is your girlfriend, someone that you're possessing to love. You're coming to meet her early in the morning around 8:30 with roses and a love letter. So why is she now 6 foot under? I don't even know what to say, but I think it just goes to show as parents, even now, like my youngest is 12. I think once your children start going to secondary school, or even before that, once they are old enough to go to the shop, once you're able to say, okay, quickly go to the shop to buy some egg, milk, or a bit of bread. I mean, once they can go to, once they're leaving the house by themselves, you really got to have words and talks with them, how to manage people, manage friends, manage people that they talk to, but also for young girls, even young boys as well, how to discern or how to see signs or to recognize signs or red flags in people, in friends, in anyone that is in their space, in their area, how to recognize red flags and notify people. But in this poor girl's situation, she clearly saw the red flags. She must have seen a tendency for violence. Only God knows what's happened to her beforehand. So she definitely saw something because she was very abrupt and she ended it. And look at the way he retaliated. Who would know at 15 years old, just because you break up with someone that you suspect is violent or could do harm with you, who should know that maybe you need to be getting a restraining order? This is things that women do. Even as grown women, not everybody knows how to handle situations when they're in a relationship with someone that is a narcissist. No, not a lot of people know how to handle that. How do you handle that when you realize this person is obsessive, he won't let me go, but yet he's violent and he's mean and I need to get out of this situation? Even so many women are, in situations where that they are here no longer because they were in such traumatic or abusive relationships, and getting out of it was just they were, as much as they were able to plan or call the police or get a restraining order, they weren't able to do enough. Do you know what I mean? To stop what these violent aggressors were able to do to them. And who would think at 15 years old, that's what you need to deal with? One way or the other, this was going to end up toxic because this person was violent. You're violent at what? Only 17 years old? You're going to school with a weapon to cause this much harm? Wow. Poor child. May your soul rest in peace. Poor child. And I think the most important part for us is the lessons. We've just got, yeah, talk to our children, have open conversations with them. We've got to let them know to be very cautious about their space. I mean, fair enough, this young girl was in a relationship with him, but even sometimes you don't even have to be in a relationship. You can just be walking around, minding your own business, and someone may, find you attractive. And just because you say, no, I don't want to have your number, I don't want to talk to you, who's to say the same thing can't happen again? So it's crazy, it's scary. It's just, are you kidding me? You know, I think the most thing we can do at the moment, we've just got to be prayerful. I mean, I am a Christian. I do believe in God. And all we can do is just pray for God's protection. Because the fact of the matter is, any time of the day, anything can happen to anyone. Anything can happen to anyone. But it's just so sad that at a young age of 15, going to secondary school, she's most probably preparing to do her GCSEs. Early in the morning, she ain't in no gang, she ain't messing around with the wrong crew. That's such a thing that can happen to her at such a young age. It's sad. It's beyond sad. You know? My heart once again goes out to her family and those that know her and those that had to witness and see this in the morning. It's like there's so much going on in the world. Why are people making things worse for each other? It's absolutely terrible. Absolutely. But I'll go back to this. In situations like this, you just got to pray. You just got to pray for God's protection. You know, you got to pray that God will guide you. No one knows tomorrow. No one knows their end. You've just got to pray and hope for the best. My favorite Psalms that I like to read for God's protection is Psalm 91. I love to read that. I read that, and yeah, it basically talks about even if you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you shall fear no evil. It's just asking for God's protection because, yeah, anything can happen to anyone at any time, and it's not about living in fear. But I think it just goes to show, as us as parents, you've got to install so much into your child at such a young age. It's like your children, your precious children are so young. You don't want to scare them with the terrors of this world, but it's like you really got to prepare them. And a lot of it is about, discernment. But equally, you never can guarantee or can tell what someone will do, or you can never tell how far someone is willing to go. Who would think because you break up with someone, you can end up 6 foot under? I mean, really? It's beyond sad. It's beyond sad. It's so tragic, and it's just too much. I mean, emotional intelligence is really needed. What is going on in this world, like, where people can think that you have the right to end somebody's life, take their breath away just because they don't want to deal with you no more? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So I just want to pray for all the parents out there. I especially want to pray for the young lady and her family right now to be strong. I'm going to put you in my prayers, and I'm sure so many people will do that as well. But equally for us as parents, we got to pray over our children every night, pray over for ourselves. What I try to do with my family, before we go to bed every night, we do a prayer. We just put everything in God's hands. We can't live in fear. We won't live in fear. We just put everything in God's hands. And every day when you wake up in the morning, it's only by His grace. We're thankful. We're thankful in the morning, we're thankful to wake up, we're thankful to go to bed, and we're thankful to start again. We're thankful for our daily bread. We just live in a life of gratitude because it's only God's protection that could really, only God's protection, His grace, that allows us to go from day to day. That's how we live in our home. But yeah, definitely we got to talk more to our children, and just I think also as well it's good to have an open line of communication just to know what's going on in your children's life. You really got to know what's going on, even though they can't tell you everything. You really got to know. But then saying that, who could have ever determined this? She most probably did talk to her parents about this guy that she's talking to or whatnot. I might leave him. He seems a bit, wild. No one would have suspected this would happen. No way, you know. So it's sad. As you see at the moment, they've done a conference in the morning in Croydon. This took place in Croydon early this morning. And I think that her community or everybody in that area is just shocked. Do you know what I mean? These are not the sort of things that regularly happens. Who would think Wednesday morning that people will be on the news talking about this? There's so many things going on with our country, the economy. There's so many Brexit. There's so many things that needs to be sorted out. Who would have thought something like this? But right about now, there is an epidemic in the UK with crimes within the youth. Violence. It's just very brutal right now. There's so much going on, and it's sad because it is happening a lot more with our youth. So definitely globally, there's a lot more work that we need to be doing to just, bring in that level of social, emotional intelligence. Sometimes a rejection is a blessing from God. You don't need everything now. Not everything is YOLO. Take your time. If you really love somebody, you really want to be in a relationship, okay, well, work on being better. Clearly, she dumped you or broke up with you for a reason. Work on being better. Maybe you could win her back, but by doing this, how are you ever going to get back with her now? Well, yeah, this is just my two thoughts on it. I will be trying to follow up on this story and speak more. I'm sorry to leave things on a on a down note, but once again, my condolences to that beautiful lady and her family. And I think for us parents, all we can do is talk, communicate, just be emotionally available for our children, just opening up those lines of communications and pray for the best. We put everything in God's hands. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please give me a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. And on to the next one. We'll talk soon. Thank you. If you've got anything else to add or to say or anything I've missed out, please feel free to put a comment in the comment section. And I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye.